Hello, lovies. It's your Auntie Lisa, the cool aunt, the non-judgmental aunt, the aunt you can tell anything to. Now, I've learned some life lessons, some of them the hard way. Let's find out what life lessons we have today with Auntie Lisa's Life Lessons. Hi, lovies. It's your Auntie Lisa. How are you this fine, glorious evening, day, morning, whenever you're watching or listening to this? I hope all's going well with you. So, let's see here. What topic are we going to discuss today? I'm going to open my book of lists. I've told you I have a book of lists, right? One of the lists in this book is topics that I want to cover on Auntie Lisa's Life Lessons. You would think I would go from the very beginning to the very end, but no, I have to jump around. So that's just what we're going to do. Let's see, what's a good one to talk about today? There are a couple of words in our American worldwide lexicon that need to be permanently removed from speech. They are hurtful words. They are designed to hurt, to harm, to embarrass and humiliate. They are designed to put people in their place, and they are totally unnecessary in today's world. And what are those words? Well, of course, the very first word, and if I ever hear anybody use this word, I get vehemently angry, is the N-word. It is wrong, it is hurtful, and shouldn't be used. End of discussion. And don't come at me with, well, they in their songs use nigga. Different word, different meaning. Yes, it is. Do not make me, I will fight you on this one. I'll physically fight you on this one. So the N-word should be eliminated. I mean, there's no reason to use a word like that, ever. And you know what goes along with that word? The words that go with other ethnicities. There's a C word for Chinese people that is not good. There's G words. There are P words for Italians. I mean, all these words are nasty, nasty words designed to put somebody in their place, designed to humiliate, to hurt, and to belittle a person. And it's totally unnecessary. The other word that I wanted to mention this too has nothing to do with ethnicities, but has everything to do with the person. It is hurtful, humiliating, harmful, nasty, and I hear it used a lot more than it should be used in polite conversation. We've gotten to the point where the N-word is recognized as being not a good word. But this word pops up in so many different ways. It's an R word. Now, if anybody I know uses the R word to describe somebody that they think is stupid, to describe somebody that they think is being less than intelligent, to describe someone just generally to be nasty, they will hear about it from me. It is unacceptable. It's a hurtful word that does not describe any human being and should never be used. Usually, it is directed to those with developmental delays, developmental disabilities, persons who have Down's syndrome, and others like my son. My son is autistic. He is considered high functioning, but he is autistic. He just recently graduated high school. So proud of him for that. And he graduated with honors. I heard somebody call him the R word. And it pissed me off more than you will ever know. Not because it was him, but because it was that word used to describe someone who learns differently, who exists differently, and who thinks differently. Yes, he is behind. He is delayed. He has autism. He's 20 years old, but emotionally, maturity-wise, even a little bit of mental, not smarts, mind you. I'm just talking about emotional and mental and maturity levels. He's behind. He's quite a few years behind. I'd say, we're looking at a 12-year-old for how he handles things emotionally, how he deals with things, how he thinks. It's about a 12-year-old in maturity, which is weird when you've got this 20-year-old lumbering guy who is 6'2", and then you hear him do stuff that doesn't seem like it fits. So yes, he is delayed. Does that make him stupid? Absolutely not. This boy is intelligent. He's got a vocabulary that is out of this world. When he's not talking about video games and when he's not talking about the things that he has developed an extreme liking for, he can still talk rather informedly about politics, about current events, about historical things. He will come up to me occasionally and say, "Hey, Lisa, such and such and such and such, from history. That's right, right?" Absolutely right. So, as frustrated as I get, because I know that he is 20 and I want for him to be successful, I have to remember that success is not actually measured the same for him as it would be for everyone else. Before I had my son, I didn't have him, okay? Wait a minute, let me rephrase that. Before my son came into my life, I still hated the R word because it is completely and totally just nasty. Any word that's designed to be nasty, to put someone in their place, to downgrade them, to make them feel bad, is a word that I think should be eliminated. So, basically, what your Auntie Lisa's life lesson today is going to boil down to is two things. Say the N word around me, and we will be done. Say the R word around me, and we will be done. Say the R word, 3 things. Say the R word and direct it towards my child. The word done does not apply to what we will be. There's no need. None whatsoever. So, Auntie Lisa's gotten a little mama bearish, but that happens with me. I mean, I would fight the same fight for you. If you said to me, Auntie Lisa, I was called this name, I would help you fight that person. And I don't mean physically fight. Did you ever hear your parents, excuse me, I feel a yawn coming on and I hate to do it. There we go. Did you ever hear your grandparents or your parents say something along the lines of, I refuse to do battle with an unarmed person? I refuse to do a battle of wits with an unarmed person? Yeah, see, one of the things about having a really big vocabulary, which is one of the things I taught my son Denver, is you can insult people and they have no idea that's what you've said. So, if I start throwing big words at you, I'm mad and you're not going to know what the hell I'm saying, but I'll know. So that's what I mean by a fight. I turned into Julia Sugarbaker. Do you remember that show? Okay. If you don't, I understand. Your Auntie Lisa is quite a bit older than you. But in the 80s, there was a show called Designing Women that featured four archetypal females and a male from the South. They lived in Georgia. One of these was Julia Sugarbaker, who was the take charge, bide no nonsense liberal of the show. And when she got on a rant, there was a rant to be had. I mean, Julia Sugarbaker monologues are the best things to practice acting with. I'll take a Julia Sugarbaker monologue and tear it up just because, I mean, they are so good. Her quotes are so good. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia. Or, in the South, we don't ask what side the crazy people are in your family. No, wait. In the South, we don't ask what, if you have crazy people in your family, we ask you what side they're on. Just general stuff like that. Anyway, the point being, I got completely off track, is that when I get wound up and get to talking, number one, the Southern accent comes out big time. Number two, I sound like Julia Sugarbaker. Number three, I do a rant like you ain't never seen. So that's where that point was. As a matter of fact, my son Denver, I'll never forget, I was watching Designing Women one night. And he comes in, he stands there and he looks at the TV. And he says, God, how old is this show anyway? To which, of course, I looked at him and I said, it was made in the 80s. He goes, geez. He does a lot of good for my sense of self-esteem, doesn't he? And I said, uh-huh. And then Julia Sugarbaker got into one of her rants. And I don't remember which one it was, but she had just gotten wound up and wound up and wound up. And he looked at me and he goes, Lisa, Did they model her after you? To which, of course, I said, oh, no, baby, no, no, no. No. If anything, Lisa's modeling herself after Julia Sugarbaker, not the other way around. He goes, she sounded just like you when you get wound up and mad at me. So, yeah. Okay, to wrap up today, the N-word, the R-word are no longer viable words in this world. Get rid of them. And your auntie is a little bit off kilter, but that's okay. She will always fight for you. Always. Remember our mantra. What is it? That's right. Be bold, be brave, be unstoppable. And our second mantra, which is the truth. I love you just the way you are. Until next time.